The San Francisco 49ers came up with a big 38-10 win over the Arizona Cardinals on Monday Night Football last night. We are going to take a look at all of the offensive plays on this week's 49ers film review coming up next. Hey, everybody. Hope you are doing well on this great Tuesday afternoon. I'm going to take a look at all the 49ers offensive plays from their big win on Monday night over the Arizona Cardinals. Big game for the 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo goes for 4 touchdowns, makes it 3 games in a row in which he's not thrown an interception. That is the first time in his career that he's been able to accomplish that. Christian McCaffrey over 100 yards total offense between rushing and receiving. Another big game out of Elijah Mitchell on the ground. George Kittle. A lot of talk about George Kittle and his lack of targets over the last couple of weeks. George Kittle, third on the 49ers in targets coming into the game. When you look at overall plus targets per game, got 6 on Monday night, a couple of big touchdowns. He was the third on the 49ers in terms of targets once again, but the narrative around him will change a little bit because of the 2 big touchdowns, which were terrific. When I say narrative around him, I'm talking about his usage or lack thereof. And then the offensive line. Terrific game from the offensive line. They allowed Jimmy Garoppolo to get hit only 4 times on 29 dropbacks. There were no sacks. They did a great job of opening up holes in the running game. In addition, we saw Deebo Samuel back to his normal, more of a wide receiver role, not used as a wide back all that often. Only had 1 carry out of the backfield last night. Had a big gain, big touchdown run as well. So we're going to get into all of that coming up next. Right now, let's go ahead and let's bring up the film and let's get rolling. We're going to look, as we look through this, we're going to be looking at the portion with the starters. I'm not sure if we'll get into the stuff at the end when Brock Purdy and Jordan Mason were on the field, but we're definitely going to be focusing in on the offensive, the starting offensive performance and their the way that they played last night against the Cardinals. So let's roll it up. First play of the game. 49ers are going to come out. They're using 21 personnel, so they got 2 backs in the game. That's Kyle Juszczyk in motion. George Kittle at tight end. Let's roll it through. It's going to be a run to the right side with Christian McCaffrey. When we watch this from the end zone view, you'll notice that this is just a terrific play by J.J. Watt. Spencer Burford does a good job of getting to him. He's in good position, but J.J. Watt's able to win this rep and make the tackle with one arm. Just a really good play by Watt. Good starting point though for in this game for Burford. You'll see them. Watch Burford here. He does a nice job of getting into position. Looks like he's going to win it, and then 99 is able to keep his outside leverage, get that outside arm free. See, he's just a little bit to the side there on him. So now once he sees that the ball's going outside of him with McCaffrey, he's able to just reach it out and catch him and bring him down for a gain of only 2. 2nd and 8, 21 personnel again. And Garoppolo's just high on this one. He's wide open. The pass is just too high. They're lucky on this one that Kittle doesn't get hurt. That the smack to the face that he takes here from the guy coming underneath on number 9, I believe it is. That was a brutal one. Ball's just a little too high. Garoppolo's got to get that down. He started off a little rough, picks it up as the game goes along. And there you see it, just a little high there, and then the hit in the face from Simmons. That's the difference between a quarterback and a tight end. If that's a quarterback, that's a 15-yard personal foul for contact to the head. Tight ends, they don't care about you. They don't really care about the running backs and receiver as much either. If it's a receiver or a quarterback, that's going to get flagged more often than a big tight end. 3rd and 8, 11 personnel. 49ers always running 11 personnel for the most part on 3rd down. Garoppolo puts this one on the money to 15, and Jennings just gets tied up with 20. He kind of trips himself a little bit, but this is would have been a perfect shot by Garoppolo here. You can see the the two get tangled up. You'll see, watch the feet of Jennings. You'll see him start to trip, kind of a little bit of trip. He gets a little bit of help with the push on his back, I think, right here. He's already starting to go down, but you get that additional push, and down he goes. He took a couple of deep shots to Jennings in this game. Both of them come up incomplete. Really good protection here by the defensive line. Garoppolo puts it out there. Would have been right on him, I think, if he doesn't get tripped up. Next possession, though, they're going to start off out of 21 personnel again. This is going to be a nice little choice route completion over to on the quick slant to McCaffrey for a gain of 11. McCaffrey just opens up this offense with his ability to do things like this. So they motion Samuel into the backfield with him. They can get him out, but this is just a real nice play design. Wide open over the middle, gets it out quick, on time, on rhythm. Perfect. McCaffrey is the perfect complement to Jimmy Garoppolo with Garoppolo's rhythm throwing. Puts it right on him there for a gain of 11 to start off the possession. On the second down play here, they're still in 21 personnel. This time they do it a little bit differently, though. They still have the two guys in the backfield together. You get Samuel and McCaffrey, but they're going to both be in the backfield at the time of the snap. Garoppolo's looking down the field. Really good coverage. We've seen this now a couple of times now, where they really do a good job of 85 and 23 do a really good job of working off one another because of what it does to the defense. And it also helps Garoppolo too. He likes those 15 and in throws. And so here Garoppolo he's looking to Kittle over the middle. You see Kittle right there on the right hash, starting to come across the middle, but he's got three guys around him. He's covered, so he's not there. All that attention on Kittle, you just check it down really easy to the running back. On this one, I think he might have had a chance to get this on the wheel route to Brandon Ayuk as well. If you see Brandon Ayuk up at the top of the screen, they're running a deep post with the wheel behind it. I think Garoppolo might have gone there, except for Trent Williams is getting beat, and so I think what happens here is he sees Ayuk slip a little bit there. He's got pressure coming from Trent Williams because he doesn't step up, and Williams is getting beat up a little bit up inside, and so Garoppolo just dumps it off underneath for a quick gain to McCaffrey. But I think this was a shot. They were trying to dial this up to go deep. You see the post by. Watch the top of the screen here. Watch the outside receiver, number 1 at the top of the screen. Number 1 receiver is 15. He's going to run a deep post. And then behind him, they're trying to run a wheel route with Brandon Ayuk in behind him. And then you have the check down to McCaffrey. And then over on their side, you have a middle route by George Kittle with the check down to McCaffrey. And what you see here is Garoppolo is going to look to the middle first. He's looking Kittle. He's covered. Looks to the wheel. It looks like Ayuk slipping, so he checks it down. Just 1, 2, 3. Ball out on time. Gain of 6. Watch it from here. You'll see he's going to look to Kittle first. He's looking at Kittle. Kittle's covered. Looks to the deep, and then underneath quickly. Second and 5, still 11 personnel. They're doing a lot of that right now because with McCaffrey and Ayuk. Inside run. This probably should have been a first down. Let's watch this one from this angle here. It's a little bit better. You're going to see McCaffrey as he starts to come up. I think if he cuts this thing to his left instead of taking it back inside, I think he might probably picks up a first down. Probably picks up a couple more yards. I'm going to stop it as we go through. Right at this point, if he takes this thing out towards George Kittle, I think he probably gets to at least the edge of 56 for probably another yard or two. Instead, he cuts up inside, and then 94 is there, and he's able to do a better job, I think, of getting off the block to help out with the tackle, because I don't think there's any way that Budda Baker would have helped 56 on the tackle if he cuts that thing outside. So just a little bit of these are split-second decisions. Very tough for these guys to make. Looking at it though, from this point of view, sitting on my stool, outside, makes it look like it's a lot easier, but I just think this one should have been a cut to the left, excuse me, instead of the right. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. And on 3rd and 2, the 49ers are going to still be in 11 personnel here. They're going to try to run Deebo Samuel around the end and then around here to the right side. Spencer Burford misses 25, who then comes up, and then because the play gets washed out wider, the defensive back is able to come up and make the play. This one's supposed to be cut up a little bit more inside, but watch Burford. We'll see this one from the end zone view too, a little bit better. Burford's got to get up, got to get all the way out here to 25. It's a tough one. See him right there. He slides off. He's not able to get his head across. And that man's able to kind of wash that play out, and it needed to be cut up a little bit sooner. Collins is right in the way. Let's watch it from the end zone view. Watch 74. It's a tough block for him to get to 25, especially with the positioning here and the motion coming across, and he's already starting to move. Plus, he gets kind of chipped off there by one of the other blockers. So just a tough one all around. They're going to come back to this later, this concept. It's going to be a different play call. They'll come back to it later on the opening possession of the second half. So first couple of drives to the 49ers, not a whole lot of positivity. They did take up the one. They didn't go 3 and out the first time. They get 1 first down before getting knocked out. And then from that point on, now the 49ers offense pretty much for these next few possessions really gets on a roll. So still first quarter, 2:41. 49ers are going to come out. It looks like they are in 12 personnel. They have 2 tight ends in the field. This is a weird play. I think somebody goes to the wrong spot. I don't know if it's 23 or if it's 11, but let's watch this one more time from up above, because what Garoppolo's looking at here is he has 2 guys in the same spot. There's one guy covering 2. He has 2 receivers. You have McCaffrey and Brandon Ayuk, one behind the other with a linebacker in between them. So there's nothing there. This is, so he's going to check it down to Deebo Samuel, who does a really nice job of picking up a couple of yards after contact. I'm not sure who's running the wrong route. I have a feeling that my guess is maybe Brandon Ayuk is supposed to keep sliding across and getting into that hole. You see the hole there between the linebacker that's covering Christian McCaffrey, and then you have the 2 guys in the middle here that are doubling up the tight end. I think if he just continues to slide over, there's a hole there for Garoppolo to get it to him for a gain. So I'm not sure if maybe him slowing down. I think maybe he's supposed to just throttle down and slide through that hole, and then that way the quarterback can get it. That's my guess on the design, because the way that this thing looks, you've got 1 guy covering 2, and then you got Kittle getting doubled, and there's really nobody open, and so he takes the check down. You get a nice little gain of 4. 2nd and 6. They're going to stay with their 12 personnel. This has been a package that's really been good for the 49ers this year. Doesn't really work out here though with the toss to the left side. Pickup of only 1. Watch on this one. Let's watch 74 on 34. He has nobody over him, so he's going to the run and toss away. His job is to get upfield and get to the second level. That second level defender is 34, which might be a little bit of a tough ask for him, especially with him already starting to slide over. As you can see, that's a tough one because by the time the ball snapped, 34's head up on him, and he's got to get over outside to get him. Watch Burford. He gets a hand on the first guy to kind of help the backside, but he's not able to get over to 34. 34 runs the alley. There's nowhere for McCaffrey to cut up, and they get the tackle after a gain of only 1. That's a really tough block, though, for Burford to be able to get from where he is and scoop that linebacker, especially a linebacker that's already head up on him, maybe a little bit to his inside, to be able to get all the way across, to be able to get that hit on the guy that's on him, to help the backside guy scoop him, and then still be able to get upfield to that linebacker. That's a tough ask. It's almost like on that one, he just needs to get up and just get running right away, especially since it's going out wide anyway, but that's the way it works on there. And then 3rd and 5, 11 personnel. Fires love 11 personnel here. And this is a really nice play by Jimmy Garoppolo. They motion out, so they go 5 wide. Now watch the pressure that comes through. They're bringing 5. 94 is going to be right in Garoppolo's face when he gets this out. This is where the quick release of Jimmy Garoppolo helps out. It's a really nice job too by Aaron Banks. So watch Aaron Banks here. He's gonna help out. He's gonna get two guys. He's gonna block 9, blocks 94, boom, and then he gets inside. It's just a slight hit on. There's just a slight little hesitation that he gives 94 before he slides to the inside, because you want to get outside. You want to make sure that you get that inside guy blocked. So he just gets a quick shot to the outside guy, and then he works inside. Really on this one, what you should have, the way it would have been best for the 49ers is if everybody had slid to the left side, because then 64 could have picked up 9, 65 could have picked up 94, and 71 was on the outside. But with the way their protection was lined up on this one, you end up with a guy free, and Garoppolo beats him and gets the ball out to Kittle for a gain of 6, and they pick up the first down. So really nice play for Garoppolo and Kittle, and a really good play right there by Aaron Banks to get a couple of guys on that rush. Let's set that up and allow him to get the ball off. First and 10, 12 personnel. They run this toss to the outside. Really nice job by McCaffrey to be patient, kind of moves a little bit and then gets upfield for a gain of 5. You get the face mask as well, so it ends up being a gain of 20. Watch 99 on this one. That's Watt. He's on the outside there of the tight end. And him and 51 are the guys that force this thing to get cut up inside. They want to run this outside a little bit further, but J.J. Watt does a really good job again. This is where Watt is so good. Watt's not the pass rusher he used to be, but he's still a really solid run defender. He'd be a terrific inside piece for the 49ers. But if you watch the way that they get him blocked originally, but he's still able to get outside. 51 runs the lane. McCaffrey does a nice job of chopping his feet. Good. Everybody continues to block. They're doing a good job of over pushing across, and a really nice job of overall of being able to pick up 5, and they get the face mask on top of it. So when you look at that play, it's only a gain of 5, but there's a lot going on. It could have been a tackle for loss. They pick up 5. That's one of the things that the 49ers have gotten with Christian McCaffrey in their lineup, is that every once in a while you're going to get some negative plays, but there's times where his quickness allows them to get positive plays out of negative. And you see that as well with Elijah Mitchell. But the 49ers didn't really have that prior. Jeff Wilson Jr., really good running back, but he didn't do that quite as well because he's just not quite as explosive as far as being able to stop and start. Elijah Mitchell's a little bit better, and McCaffrey's definitely better. And just getting positive plays on a consistent basis. So to be able to pick up 5 on that, and you get the face mask as well, big 20-yard gain, get you from your own 29 all the way up to midfield. And then here you get the 49ers in 12 personnel again. And this is where you finally get to see Deebo Samuel. This is Deebo Samuel. This is where he was in 2019, right? Working, and even 2020 and in his second year and last year as well, before they put him in the backfield, having Deebo Samuel be running routes as a receiver over the middle. This is where he's at his best, is on screens and routes over the middle. Really works well again with what Garoppolo's strengths, and puts it right on him. And a really nice run after the catch by 19 gets you all the way across midfield down to the 30, down to the 32. You can see the pass protection here, solid for Garoppolo in front of him, and he's able to put that one down, hits him right in the stomach, and helps out Samuel there as well. So nice gain there. Now they come back to their 21 personnel look. Going to be a toss to the left and a big gain down the left sideline for McCaffrey. I want to go back. I want to highlight a couple of things on this one. So one of the big things, the talking points all this week, one of the things all of us were talking about, myself included, was the stance of Trent Williams. Look at Trent Williams' stance. His left foot's back. He's in looks like he's in a pass blocking stance. This should be a pass play or play action, based off of the way that he's aligned. If he's going to run play action, it's going to be play action with the run coming towards him and the boot going the other direction. Instead, they're going to run toss his direction. And watch the block that Trent Williams gets on this cornerback to pave the way. Boom, knocks him out of the way. 23 does a nice job of making 9 miss, and then he gets upfield finishes off. It's a total. It's a gain of 20. Just a really nice play, though. Look at the block. Look at 71. He's in his pass blocking stance, supposed to be his pass blocking stance. They're going to get a toss here. Just a little crack on the edge. Nice block by 71. Make a guy miss, and then 33 comes around. Nice play by McCaffrey. Really, it's Trent Williams that makes that play with that first block. Now you get the play action boot. Just doesn't they don't get enough of a block from 15 on the edge before he turns the slide. Just doesn't get him just quite long enough for Garoppolo to be able to get outside. And he's not really supposed to be blocking him, but he's not able to hold him long enough for 10 to get around the edge. He's not fast enough. Second and 10, a little quick screen to Samuel. But he does a good job of keeping this. I think this is a bigger play if he cuts this thing outside instead of staying up in the middle. Remember the touchdown that he had in the NFC Championship game against the Rams? Remember how he comes inside from right to left, catches the ball, and then turns it back outside? Remember that? And then he runs down the sideline, gets to the right front pylon for the touchdown. Let's go back and let's watch this thing from the beginning. Once he gets past 69 right here, instead of cutting this thing up, look if he takes this thing back to the sidelines, takes this back to the numbers, look at everything he has in front of him. He's got 74, 64. There's 4 49ers on 3. At this point right now, Samuel has 4 guys blocking for him and only 3 Cardinals defenders. This is a touchdown for the 49ers if Deebo Samuel just stays up and stays with the play. Instead, he gets his eyes inside, takes this thing too far across, and the guy that's not blocked because, well, the ball's not supposed to go there, ends up making the tackle. He doesn't make the tackle quite, but he's able to slow him down and stop his feet long enough for the rest of the guys to come. So when you watch this play, as you watch this play unfold, this ball needs to be caught and taken back outside. If he takes this thing back outside, his linemen up front are going to be able to make blocks, and he's going to be able to weave his way better. No reason to keep bringing yourself across because that's where all the traffic is coming from. We'll see if he gets better as the season goes along. It's a hit or miss thing with him, but when he does it right, it's explosive. We saw that last year in Chicago. We saw it against the Rams in the NFC Championship game. Bend this thing back outside. Doesn't happen, but that's all right. Doesn't matter because it's the same thing as I will say a lot of times with the quarterback, right? That doesn't hurt the 49ers because even though it could have been a touchdown there, they're going to get the touchdown here. I talk about it all the time when I'm doing stuff with Garoppolo or if I'm doing it with Trey Lance, whatever. If you see a play that could have been a big play, well, how does the rest of the series try? Do they finish it off with a touchdown to kind of make up for that little bit of a mistake where it's not a big deal, or does it fizzle out as a result? And so we're going to see this next play. This is similar concept on the right side to what we saw the 49ers run against the Chiefs on the play that ends up being an interception. You've got 85 running a corner. You're going to get 23 running a choice coming inside. Deebo Samuel's going to run across. It's a little bit different. Samuel's going to run across. He's basically like he's running an under route. And then you're going to have 11 run a return to the left side. That means he's taking it out and then coming back. Part of the reason for that route is because you want 19 to open it up, and then you're bringing 11 back in behind him, and 15 is running a corner. So as we run this through, Garoppolo's going to start to the right. The linebacker does a good job of sitting on the route by McCaffrey. Garoppolo sees that. Now you see on the bottom here, you see how the route by Jennings has taken the safety, the interior guys into the end zone. Now you have 19 coming across, and so that means that guy is going to follow him. Look at what that does to Brandon Ayuk. As soon as Brandon Ayuk turns around, there's nobody around him. He now has 10 yards between him and the nearest defender that has a way of stopping this play. And Garoppolo puts it on him. It's a little high, but he does a really nice job of getting up and making the play. Just a terrific play design, execution as well. We talk a lot about the 49ers offense and their lack of execution. They executed at a pretty high level for most of this game. But again, starts off to the right, That's all taken care of. Remember the route combination on the backside. It takes the safeties out. The underneath by Samuel takes out the underneath defender, and it opens up the hole for 11, and Garoppolo finds him, and the 49ers take the lead. Boom, boom, boom. Comes back, find it, get it, touchdown. Really nice play design. Good protection by that offensive line, too, to allow that work all the way across. And then now this is right after the interception from Jimmy Ward, gets the 49ers the ball on the 46-yard line of the Cardinals to open up this possession. And they're going to get it started. They're in 21 personnel because that's Kyle Juszczyk up at the top. And then in the backfield, you have Elijah Mitchell and Deebo Samuel. They motion over, and they're going to come. This thing's going to come over the middle to George Kittle. Try it again. This is another one. Garoppolo's looking for the deep route first. It's covered, slides back down, and hits his underneath route. The check down becomes Kittle, but he's looking deep. That deep stuff covered. You come back down to your check down guy. Looks. Boom. Second and 3, they're in 12 personnel again. So now they got Tyler Croft out as the wide. He's the tight end. He's out wide to the right. George Kittle's in here on the left side. So those are your two tight ends. You've got, what is that? Samuel on the bottom on the outside. Ayuk in the slot. Elijah Mitchell in the backfield. Garoppolo's going to try to hit 11 here, and the ball's just high. Not much open right there. If you're going to go somewhere else, maybe it's the Deebo Samuel on the other crosser. Don't know if that one's all that great of an option either. This ball just needs to be lower, and I think it's probably going to get caught. Yeah, it definitely would have been a catch if he just gets it in the right spot. If he hits that one to like where he hit Samuel earlier, where it's right around his belt, I think that's a completion. And then we get to this one. It's 11 personnel, 3rd and 3. So 3rd down. The Frontiers always like to go into 11. Motion McCaffrey out, going empty. You're going to get pressure off the left side. A little bit of a push on Trent Williams. Garoppolo is able to step up. And before he gets to the line of scrimmage, he sees Kittle breaking free. And this is, again, we've seen this now from Garoppolo 3 weeks in a row. Or 3 games in a row, excuse me, because they didn't play 3 weeks ago. But we've seen this a few times now from Garoppolo, where it's second reaction plays, right? So last week it was against the Rams. It was the touchdown pass to McCaffrey. Everything was broken down. He starts the step and then gets the ball over the top to McCaffrey for a touchdown. Last week it was against the Chargers. It's a scramble out to the right, roll, break contain, get to the right side, and hit Ray McCloud down the right sideline. Here, you get some pressure off the left side. It's kind of in his face as he's reading the left side. Brings it down, and then just a little flick over the top. Not a perfect pass, but enough to get it to 85. Sometimes the pass doesn't always have to be perfect. It's just about getting it there sometimes. And he's able to put it right there to 85, give him a chance to make a play. And then the two defenders collide for the touch, and he runs in for the touchdown. Now watch the pass protection over here on the left side. Williams is just going to get pushed back. Garoppolo's able to step up and through, and underthrown a little bit, but a really nice play by 85 on the back end, and it's a walk-in. 39-yard touchdown gives the 49ers a good lead. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break right here just for a second, see if there's any questions or comments that I need to hit on. See, there's a bunch of comments over there, so that's awesome. I don't think Kia asks, Jack, do you think Kyle's play calling was more of a feel and down and distance versus game planning by game film and scouting? I think it was based on the Cards' 8 and 7-man fronts. I think it was based on the fact that they know that they're going to get a 5-man front out of the Cardinals almost all the time. The Cardinals and the Rams basically play the same defense. defensive front, a lot of the same looks up front. And so I think he came into this knowing that they were going to throw the ball. They just needed to move guys around to get it there. So I think it was mostly game planning on Shanahan's part. Rafael 5629ers, a member of the Toolbox, comes in and says, like and subscribe, everyone. Yes, if you do that, that would be fantastic. Please do that. Let's see what else we've got. Just looking at a bunch of positive comments on Jimmy Garoppolo's play. Kia again comes back. Jack, should we say that the O-line is getting better or just that the Cards D-line is bad? Flyers' offensive line has been playing at a fairly high level all season long. Don't really buy into all of the PFF grades. They do put the 49ers offensive line among the top 10. And I think if you go through and you look at the numbers, their sack percentage that they've given up, if you get away from the PFF stuff and you just want to look at things like sack percentage, quarterback hits, and those types of things, the 49ers are one of the better teams at the lack of sacks allowed. That's one of the things that I pointed to last week when this whole play tipping thing with Trent Williams came up. Was it's not affecting other people because the 49ers offensive line is giving up fewer sacks than any other team in the well, not fewer sacks, but they've given up fewer sacks than they gave up in 2019, and that sack rate has dropped. If you look at the pressure numbers, those have also dropped as well. So I think when you look at it overall, the 49ers offensive line, to answer your question, Kia, has been playing at a very high level. Niv asks, do you think the better protection this year is correlated to Jimmy playing better? I don't think so, but I think here's the thing. Jimmy Garoppolo definitely plays at a better level than Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard, who were there in 2020. I think their offensive line last year was, for the most part, okay. I think the biggest reason maybe that it's better this year is that Mike McGlinchey's healthy. I would say if I was going to point to one reason why their pass protection is better overall, it's because Mike McGlinchey's healthy. He wasn't there last year. Tom Compton, very good in run blocking, struggled in pass protection, gave up a ton of pressures compared to what McGlinchey was. And so I think that plays into it as well, as far as why we're seeing. And then as far as Garoppolo playing better, he's just right now what we've seen with Jimmy Garoppolo is he was okay in the first half of the season. They went out and they made that trade for Christian McCaffrey. And since they acquired Christian McCaffrey, it's been a completely different guy. I did the numbers earlier today. I think Garoppolo has a QB rating of like 91.4 over the first 5 games of the season that he played in, starting in the second quarter of the game against the Seahawks. Completed about 63% of his passes, 8 touchdowns, 5 picks. You go for these last 4 games since Christian McCaffrey got here, he's thrown 1 interception. His passer rating is about 115. He's completed over 71% of his passes. His yards per attempt is over 8. So it's a lot of positivity with Jimmy Garoppolo, and I think a lot of that is tied to Christian McCaffrey. The way that this 49ers offense is currently built with McCaffrey, Samuel, Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, who's just a red zone marvel with his route running and his ability to get separation, all those types of things, what Kyle Juszczyk can do. And then you have an offensive line up front that does a good job of protecting the quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo has the guys around him right now. I think he's the perfect quarterback for the way that this team is built because he's a rhythm quarterback. He's going to take the deep shots for you when they're there, when you call them. He's going to miss them sometimes, but in this game, the deep shot throws that he made were on the money. We're going to see another one later. It's a little bit of a bad route by 15, and it would have been an incompletion, but he hits him in the hands with where the route was going. So I just think McCaffrey just opens up everything, though, because now Garoppolo can sit back there, he can scan it, and if he throws that little check down that would have been a 4 or 5 yard gain with the other guys becomes a 12-yard gain, and you're moving the chains. So hopefully that was a long answer for me, but hopefully you guys get it. And then Vad the Impaler says, what's so offensive about this film? I know, right, Vlad? I don't know. This isn't it's not offensive at all. We're just looking at the 49ers offense. Love the play on words, though. And then Texas Snyder says Banks is a great shock and combo between Brunskill and Burford. Burford's pretty good. Burford, for a rookie, there's some really good things that he does. And watch him play. He has some really good reps, and there's some reps that make you shake your head a little bit. But for the most part, there's a lot to like about Burford, a lot to like about Banks as well. Brendel's coming around. He's a guy who you're going to hear me talk about early on in the second half. One of his plays that he makes. This offense right now is really humming. Over the last 4 weeks, they've averaged 30 points per game, or 28.5, excuse me. They would have averaged 30 points per game if Ayuk didn't drop the touchdown in the red zone last week against the Chargers. They'd be at 30 points per game. But right now they're at 28.5 since in the last 4 weeks since they acquired Christian McCaffrey. So, all right, let's roll. Let's get back to the film. This is, where are we? Talking so much. This is so we just had the touchdown pass to George Kittle. We're going to open up with a run here a pass over the middle to Debo. There we go. 10 to 19, 25-yard lane. Again, this is Debo Samuel getting back to Debo Samuel stuff as a wide receiver. Passes over the middle, 10, 15 yards in. This is where him and Garoppolo have had a solid connection in the past. I really like Debo Samuel in this role a lot more than I like him out of the backfield. You can run him back there every once in a while. I don't want to really see him be a running back very much anymore, but if you want to have him run routes back there, that's fine. But this is the kind of stuff that we should be seeing more of. Play action. You're going to get it's a screen to McCaffrey. I think he just barely misses it. I think 89's late getting across, and so that's why Baker is able to make the tackle there. Watch 89. You'll see him come out late. He's helping out with pass protection. He's got to go. He's a little late. Takes a little long getting up the field because I think his job is to pick that gap, and I think that's why he knocks out McCaffrey here. But first down, pick up the first down on first down, pick up a first down on second down. We're going to do it again here. This is one of those plays that ends up being a positive. Garoppolo to McCaffrey for a nice gain to pick up the first down. But I want to roll this one back just a little bit because if you go back, this is 21 personnel for the 49ers. So it's a heavy run look. You're going to run play action, so you're expecting them to bite. This is one where he just gives up on this one a little too early, I think, because I think he would have had, if he keeps his eyes down the field right here, he's got the touchdown to Brandon Ayuk down the field on the left side. The safety has his eyes on George Kittle, so he's not going to make the play. Ayuk is running. So the guy they're putting in conflict right here is they have the safety in the middle who's between the numbers and the hash. And then you have Ayuk running that go route with the wheel coming behind him with Kyle Juszczyk, and it's there for a touchdown. And Garoppolo checks it down. I know that safety looks like he's in the way, but that safety has his eyes on Kittle. He's not going to get back there if that ball comes out on time. If Garoppolo just gets the ball out right here when he hitches up, if this ball comes out, there's no way that safety is going to make a play. Look at where that safety is looking. He's looking at that tight end, and then he starts to come forward. There's not going to be anybody there. That's a walk-in touchdown if he throws that ball to Brandon Ayuk. They actually throw it right now, and then he checks it down. They still a nice play. They pick up the first down. They move the sticks, but that should have been a touchdown right there. .22 personnel again. This time it's going to be a run toss to Elijah Mitchell. The guy just chases him down the line of scrimmage and is able to catch him from behind. Good defense. Watch that defensive end on the left side. He's just going to come right down the line. There's nobody there to pick him off. Mitchell has to cut that thing up inside, and he's able to come around and grab him by the hip. That's a really nice play by that defender. And this is another one where I think Garoppolo's not reading that side. He's definitely looking to the left here. Um, and based off of the read, since he's reading the left side, the read takes you to Deebo Samuel. And the ball's just a little high, and that one's got to be down. But I wanted to point to here, again, you can't see the whole field at once, right? You're picking a side, you're picking left or right, depending on the play call. But if Garoppolo chooses on this one to keep his eyes down the middle instead, and then go to his right side, watch what happens with Tyler Kroft. Again, they're running the deep route with the wheel behind him. And that's another one that if he works that side, look at the whole shot that he has to Tyler Kroft. Could hit him at about the 20. Might not be a touchdown, but this is a big gain missed, again, by Garoppolo. So these are the little things. He had a really good game, playing at a very high level. But there's little misses like this that I think could be a problem. Mr. Williamson, I'll come back to your question in just a minute. Let's get through let me get through this series, and then I'll pause it and go ahead and type your question into the chat, and I'll come back to it. Go ahead and type it in there if you have a question on it, though. All right, so that was the miss there. So 3rd and 6, and they're going to pick it up here. Garoppolo to McCaffrey. So that's on this one here. It's the completion to McCaffrey. I think what they're looking at here is they're trying to get this. Look at the defense that the Cardinals are playing. They have one safety. What is that? About 25 yards off the ball at the line of scrimmage. They slide the other safety down into the box, and that safety that's sitting in the middle kind of takes away the throw to Kittle. Might have been able to try to hit that over the top in that hole. That's going to be a tight throw. I like the fact that he takes the check down. They move the sticks here. Nice movement there. And then this is where things are going to get a little out of whack again for the 49ers offense. So 1st and 10. Yeah, I know Terradome. I know it's robber coverage. Robber coverage works better for guys that are running crossing routes. So that's why. But with the vertical route of Kittle, he's getting in that little bit of a hole. I get that it's close. It's closed to the crossing route, but I think that he might have been able to get there. It would have been a tight throw. I'm fine with the check down to McCaffrey. And then here on this one, it's 1st and 10. They're going to run a wide receiver screen, I believe it is, to. And this one, again, this is like I was talking about earlier. They're running the screen out here to Deebo Samuel. You got to remember the field's slippery, but this time he's trying to cut this thing back up inside, right? They're going to get this one out to him, and you can see it in front of him. If you can catch that and just get upfield right away, there's blockers there. Just takes it inside a little too far, and then as he tries to cut to get back outside, he slides and goes down. Just got to get that and get it back up. Got to, again, when you're running those screens as an outside wide receiver, we see them run across. For whatever reason, Deebo Samuel really likes to take it across the middle and get into a bunch of traffic. Instead, get this thing and take it out to the right side and get it up behind your blockers there. It'd be much better. Watch it from the end zone view. It just happened and too quick. He's not able to get back up there. Got to get it cut back out. 2nd and 6. Going to take a deep shot on this one. Remember earlier the deep shot that they ran earlier to Juwan Jennings. Remember he motioned from outside in to a tight formation with another receiver. This time they just align in that direction in that formation, and then they're going to take the shot here. And it's a double move. Jennings doesn't really give much room along the sidelines for that for that ball to be put into the box. Just doesn't save room for the quarterback to put it on there. Still, Garoppolo puts it on him. The ball goes right through his hands. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. He still would have been out of bounds. But 15 has the ball go right through his hands. 3rd and 6, 11 personnel, and then this one is an incompletion to Deebo Samuel. The inside routes, the Cardinals do a really good job of sitting on those. On this one, let's watch the inside of the Cardinals defenders here. Let's watch their safeties. You're going to get a lot of. There's Kittle. He's taking away the inside route to Kittle, the other route, and so the only place you have to go is to 19. That's where Garoppolo goes. Ball's a little low, it's a bit low, not the best throw, but the one thing I will say about it is that since it's low, you don't get this ball getting tipped up in an interception, so that helps Garoppolo out a little bit. If he gets that ball up maybe another 6 inches, though, I think that they have a chance of making a catch. So they end up getting a field goal here, so you're getting positive points, but like I talked about earlier, when you watch the game, does a mistake end up costing them? And yeah, he had the touchdown to Ayuk, didn't take it, took the check down instead. And then you also have the later one on a little bit deeper throw that you could have hit Tyler Kroft on. Doesn't take that one. And so they end up having to get a field goal. So this is one of those where they get 3 points. It's a positive drive, but it could have been better. So overall, you kind of grade that as maybe a C on that drive. So that ends up the first half. Now the Furnace are going to come out in the second half, and it's going to become a lot of running here. Open it up with a run by McCaffrey over left guard. Really nice cut. That was a note that I made myself when I was watching the film. Watch this thing. It starts going to the left, plants his foot, makes a nice cut to his right, gets upfield, and picks up 5. Thank you, Kim, for the positive feedback on enjoying the evaluation. Appreciate that. So nice run there. Now 2nd and 5. 11 personnel. You're going to get Garoppolo to Deebo Samuel. None of the deep routes are open, so it's either going to be Samuel or you get a choice between 19 and 23. He goes to 19, who gets tackled right away. So it's only a gain of 4. We've seen them do this. We've seen them do this a couple of times, right? 23, 19 together in the backfield. Lucky that he didn't get hurt there the way he got hit at the end. 3rd and 1, you're going to get a quarterback sneak, and watch Garoppolo watch the shot that Garoppolo takes by Budda Baker here, right in his ribs. Good thing he has rib protectors on. That was a shot. Pick up the first down. And now you're going to see the Flyers grind it out. Now they get Elijah Mitchell in the game. They've been running a lot of McCaffrey. Now you get your physical runner in there in Elijah Mitchell. You're going to pound this one right at him. It's only a gain of about 4, but a really nice physical hard run up the middle by Mitchell here. Let's watch this one from the end zone view. I love watching the runs from this view. It's so much better. 6 is just late getting in there to help with the block on the safety. So they get a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, 21 again. This time it's going to be a toss to the right to Mitchell. When you watch the 49ers, I don't know. For me, when I watch the 49ers and we want to talk about predictability or being able to read what's coming, I pay attention a lot of times to the motions. A number of times the motions are going to take you where they go. The 49ers, when they get like in this personnel group, in this position with that motion out of 44, you pretty much know it's going to be a run, especially when he starts that late motion across to his left. It's most likely going to be a toss in that direction. They do it quite a bit. Every once in a while, though, they come back at you with a play action off of it. But that's one of the things that really shows up. 22 personnel. This is a terrific run right up the heart of the defense. Nice hit at the end of it, but just a really nice job by the Flyers offensive line opening up a hole here for Elijah Mitchell, and Mitchell does a good job of feeling his way through. Look at that hole. Nobody there. Really nice play. 2nd and 1. They're just going to run a little quick handoff to Deebo Samuel to pick up the first. Not Deebo Samuel, excuse me, Kyle Juszczyk. Getting ahead of myself. The next play is the one that's exciting with Deebo. Just get a nice little push right here. Get that guy, get 95 out of the way, and easy run for 44 for a gain of a couple. Now, real quick on this one, I'm going to pause it really quick. Take yourself back to 2019. If you take yourself back to 2019, this is going to be the touchdown that Deebo Samuel scores. Are going to be running the end around to the left side. I say take yourself back to 2019 because if you remember in week 17 up in Seattle, Deebo Samuel scores the 49ers' first touchdown of that game. And he scores that touchdown on this same exact play. The only difference for the 49ers is that it's out of a different personnel grouping. In that touchdown back in 2019, the guy on the wing right here was Kyle Juszczyk. Tonight in this game, it's Tyler Kroft, number 81. Everything else is the same. You're going to get the motion across by Brandon Ayuk to the other side. He's going to help. He's going to come back and pin that defensive end. See how everything looks like it's coming to the right side in terms of the blocking on that left side. You're going to watch Tyler Kroft. He's going to spin this thing around. He's going to become a lead blocker. This is all the same thing that they ran in that touchdown against the Seahawks. And watch Jake Brendel. Look at the first block. Boom. Nice cut by Samuel. And look at big Jake Brendel, 30 yards downfield, clearing the way to make this a touchdown. This is your center making a block. Oh, look at that. We got private photos in here. Let's get rid of those. But watch Jake Brendel. Let's do it from the end zone view. I don't need to go back. But watch this one again. Everything looks like it's going to the right. And then all of a sudden, 81 plants his foot and oops, everything's going the other direction. But look at Jake Brendel. Jake Brendel's right there. He's at the 30. He's already 10 yards ahead of Deebo Samuel. That's your center running this down. See that guy that's behind him at the 35? That's Mike McGlinchey, who's all the way down the field. You got Trent Williams all the way down here at the 35, going to help kick out with the tight end. Deebo Samuel with a little bit of a block in the back that doesn't get called. That's all right. But look at Jake Brendel. He's gonna put 3 in the dirt, and it's a touchdown. Fantastic play all around for the 49ers. And this is where I like Deebo Samuel. I know it's easy to say it right after he scores a touchdown, but I love Deebo Samuel as a guy in this game who goes over the middle, catching passes and runs screens on the outside. And then I like him being able to do these end arounds. That's where I want to see him run. I don't want to see him in the backfield as a running back. If you're going to do that, give it to him once or twice, but really just keep him to a wide receiver because that's where he is. I understand he likes to call himself a wide back, but he's not. He's a wide receiver. You got to give him. I do think you need to give him the money though, because you need to give him some carries because that's part of his contract, right? So really nice touchdown, and then they come back here, and the next possession, they get a quick completion from Garoppolo to Deebo Samuel. Would have been a gain of 5, but Spencer Burford is called for holding. Burford there on 98. 98's going to get to his outside a little too quick for him. And he's going to wrap his arms around him. That's a hold. And then he raises his hands as well, which always always draws attention to you when you do that. So 1st and 20 now, and the Flyers aren't going to be able to dig their way out of it. 11 personnel because you have 1st and 20. Garoppolo is going to complete this one to Christian McCaffrey. That I don't think there's anything open downfield from my recollection. Nope. It's basically just the 2 underneath routes. They're both covered well. The go routes on the outside are covered, so it's just a little check down over the middle to McCaffrey for a gain of 7. So it's 2nd and long. They're still going to be in their 11 personnel group because of the down and distance. On this one, what ends up happening is the Cardinals bring 5. Marcus, I think it's 4. I think Golden is 44. Whoever 44 is, he comes free. Garoppolo wants to get this ball, I think, to to Juwan Jennings over the middle. I think that's where he's going to go, except for he's got a free rusher in his face. And so he needs to hit his hot read, which is Ray McLeod, gets the ball out quick, except for 99 gets his hand on it and knocks the ball down. So you get a pass breakup by J.J. Watt. Good job from Garoppolo, though. He sees the free rusher, goes to his hot read, but you get the tip by Watt, the forced incompletion. Got to get your arm up a little bit more, Garoppolo. 3rd and 13. They're going to take a shot here at a deep curl route to Brandon Ayuk. This thing's probably going to, looks like it's wide open. I'm going to let it run through once, and then I'm going to pull it back and show it to you again. He just slips. He's open. The ball's going to hit him in the hands. If he's able to maintain his footing, he's going to be coming back to it. The ball's going to hit him in the chest, and it's going to be a nice first down. Watch this one, though. Watch where he's starting to throw the ball now. This is really good in anticipation. Come on, Jack. This is really good anticipation by 10. He sees the hole. This is a throw that's there. He's going to get the first down, and the receiver just slips. Would have been a big play for the 49ers because they would have been able to move the sticks there. But that's a really good anticipation throw by Garoppolo. That ball's on the money without that slip. We're going to go through 2 more series, and then we'll wrap this thing up. We are at right now just over an hour, just about an hour. We're going to go through 2 more series. We'll go through them relatively quickly. 1st and 10, 11 personnel. Look at big 25 up the middle. Bam, bam. Nice run by Mitchell. Just, again, you have the way the 49ers offense is right now. You have the power of Mitchell. You get the finesse. Still some power with McCaffrey. His ability to kind of make guys miss. And this guy's just downhill, going to run it right at you between the tackles. Every once in a while, as we're going to see, you're going to get a toss outside, but just so good running the ball right down the middle. Illegal snap on Brendel, so becomes 2nd and 6. Second and 6, and they're going to get tossed to the left side. And there's that little pin to get the pull action out of 44, and it's wide open down the left sideline for Mitchell. So you watch this. You're going to get the pin. He's going to pin the defensive end. Number 11 is going to pin the defensive end inside right there. Now, a lot of times you'll see teams when they do that action that they have a guard or a tackle be the guy that comes around. Instead, the 49ers are using Kyle Juszczyk in that manner. Really nice job by, look at Trent Williams gets upfield, and he's got Budda Baker in a bear hug. Look at that. He looks like a grizzly bear on a little kid out there on Budda Baker. He takes him out of the play, and 25's up the field for a nice gain. But dang, Trent Williams just ate up Budda Baker on that one. The Budda. Watch Trent Williams, number 71, on this one. He's going to get to 3, and he looks like a grown man against a little boy. Throws him down. Nice play by 25. Nice block by 71. Good run by 25. Struggles sometimes to run those outside, but wide open, and he's got the speed to get there. 22 personnel, right up the middle. Nothing. Lost 1. Looks like Brendel got beat on that one. 98 beats Brendel. And then they're going to come back here. 2nd and 11, 21 personnel to get one of those tight ends off the field. You've got Deebo Samuel as your running back, and you're going to hit the little choice route to 23. This is easy stuff. This is right in Garoppolo's wheelhouse. This kind of stuff. It's in rhythm. It's not an overly complicated play. Keep the defender, look to the left to keep that safety in the middle, knowing that you're going to be able to come back to 23. Just a really, really nice play. Keeps the linebacker in the middle of the field, opens up the choice route for McCaffrey. Come back here, 1st and 10, 11 personnel again. This is an inside run for Deebo Samuel. Just don't want to see him doing this. especially at this point of the game. There's no reason to be running him up into the middle. They get 2nd and 10. They're at the 13. They decide to. 49ers are a big 11 personnel team in the red zone. Help spread the defense out. So that's what they're in here, 11 personnel. Now you've got Debo out of the backfield. You got Christian McCaffrey there instead. It's going to be a quick in route to Brandon Ayuk and easy score. Now let's watch this one again. What you're going to see is you've got Buda Baker covering he's covering the slot. I think Garoppolo knows pre-snap where this is going to open up because Baker's going to follow the inside receiver because he sees man, beats the rush, gets it out, puts it right on the money to Brandon Ayuk. Easy 6. Then if you remember correctly, he fires the ball into the end zone and hits a photographer right in the family jewels. I don't know if you get to see it though. Boom! You can see the reaction though. He knows that he hit him. Poor guy. Again, quick pressure, bringing more than they have to block. Garoppolo hits him right in the money, and he throws the ball and hits the photographer on accident. Last few plays here, we just got 5 more. 1st and 10 after a turnover on downs. 21 personnel. You're going to get a toss to the right side with Elijah Mitchell. They just aren't able to get it open out there like they did the time before. There's too many bodies over there. He's not able to cut that up earlier. Let's watch it one more time. They're trying to run this thing wide. If he's able to get that thing, I'm a little bit wrong here because I think if he cuts this thing up right there between 69, because that's where he's trying to go, is between 69 and 60. He's a little late on his cut. I think that's the reason why this thing gets stopped. Watch 25. He just gets out ahead of this thing a little bit. He sees the hole between McGlinchey and Brunskill. When he stops his feet to try to get into it, he's not able to get there. He needs to get up right now. Get upfield. He's overruns it just a little bit. Does a good job of fighting to get a gain of 2. But that was one that could have been a bigger gain right there if he's able to make that cut just a bit sooner. That's one of the things. If there was anything that you're going to complain about with Elijah Mitchell, sometimes he misses the cutback a little, or he's a little late on the cutback at times. His timing's off just a touch. Still a really solid option, really solid combination with him and Christian McCaffrey. Nice run up the middle there for 6. Going to set up a 2nd and 3 or 3rd and 2, excuse me. Just transpose those numbers. They don't one extra guy, they don't get to 51, he makes the tackle. 3rd and 3, 11 personnel. Garoppolo is going to find Debo Samuel for the first. Nice little pitch and catch. Good job by those two. 1st and 10. Now the 49ers are going to get into 22 personnel. They go back to that. There's just no excuse for a team to be as explosive as the 49ers are when they get into 22 personnel, when they have two tight ends and 2 running backs, only 1 wide receiver on the field. They're just very explosive because of the personnel that they were able to put on the field. Because look at this, they're in 22 personnel, but they've got Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, those 3 right there. Christian McCaffrey, I know he's a running back, but he's a hell of a receiver. Same thing with 44. He's a hell of a receiver too. And instead they run it at him and they pick up a gain of 3 here on 1st and 10. And they're going to come back 2nd and 7. This will be the last one. Then we'll let it run behind as I wrap up. But 2nd and 8 after that completion there. 22 personnel once again. just a boot. And then a bunch of business decisions being made here by the Cardinals. I don't want to hit him. And these guys just run by, and that's poor defense. Poor defense on the back end. Arizona is already on their plane on the way home right now. Watch this. He's going to make this guy miss. This guy's got a free shot on him. He just kind of walks by. Just not really a whole lot of effort by those guys on the edge. And there you have it, 38-10. The starters are all pulled out now for the most part. They've got to keep a couple of guys. They only have one fullback, so Huschek's going to stay in there. God, I got to love Jordan Mason. I'd like to see him a little bit more as well. But so there you go. There you have it. 49ers 38-10. Again, the 49ers deep offense has been extremely good over these last 4 weeks. Garoppolo with only one interception. The offense has averaged 28.5 points per game. Again, like I said earlier, they're a Brandon Ayuk drop in the end zone away from averaging 30 points per game over that stretch. It's the key to unlocking this offense was the addition of Christian McCaffrey. I know the 49ers gave up a lot. It's giving up a second, a third, and a fourth for a running back is seems like a lot of draft capital going into next year. But this is a team that I think really has everything that they need to be successful now. They have you look at what's coming down the pipeline for the 49ers, their offensive line is pretty much set for the next couple of years. Their tight end position is set. Wide receivers are pretty much set. The one thing when you look at the 49ers receivers, if they have a way that they can go out and pick up Odell Beckham Jr. and then get him on a little bit of a team-friendly deal for 1 year, if they can bring him in for just this 1 year, they have the money to give him a decent amount for just the end of this season. The 49ers offense with Odell Beckham as their third guy instead of 15, I think is just that much better. I think that I don't know if that's needed to put them over the top, but that's where that is a move that makes their passing game even better. The whole key for the 49ers right now is what happens at quarterback with Jimmy Garoppolo. Because if Garoppolo continues to play the way that he's played so far in these last 4 weeks, the 49ers are going to be very tough to beat. The Chiefs, they couldn't stop. That was a defensive failure for the 49ers. The Chiefs just cut through them in the middle of that game with those 6 straight touchdown possessions. But the 49ers offense still moved the ball back and forth, and they kept getting themselves back into the game, but the defense couldn't get a stop. So I look at this as if the 49ers now have 7 games left in their schedule, 5 at home. The next 3 are at Levi Stadium. And then they have a Thursday night game up in Seattle on the 15th and they have a nice break before they play against the 5th one would be the Washington Commanders on Christmas Eve. But I think this next 4-game stretch is going to tell you where the 49ers are, because if they can come out and take care of business and get through this 4-game stretch at 4-0, they're going to be right in the running. I don't know if the 49ers can catch the Eagles for the number 1 seed in the NFC, but if they can get the number 2, that would be big. And even as the 3 seed, there's a very real possibility of the 49ers not only having their opening round playoff game at home, but who knows, depending on the way things break, they might end up playing all their games at home. Eagles are a pretty tough matchup. I don't buy the Minnesota Vikings as the second best team in the NFC right now. I think the 49ers are the best team in the NFC. I think it's the 49ers and the Eagles. And who knows, maybe the Eagles get knocked off by somebody along the way through the playoffs, which would allow the 49ers to stay home for the championship game. I don't know. We'll see. I think the 49ers right now with where they are, one thing that we didn't talk about is because this was all focused on the offense, do have to talk about the defense really quick. And this is the other reason why I think the 49ers are in such a good position. They're scoring 28 points a game, like I said. The 49ers defense with Nick Bosa playing has given up more than 19 points one time in 9 games this season. Once in 9, have they given up more than 19? So when you look at the 49ers, their thing is Nick Bosa's on the field, our defense is healthy. If our offense can just get to 20, we're going to win. more often than not, most of the time. And if they can do that in the playoffs, which I think they can, this is a team that can make a very deep run through January, maybe even into early February. Just overall, the full package of this team is so strong. So there you have it, folks. That is the all 22 offensive view for the 49ers against the Cardinals. Hope you enjoyed what you saw. If you could do me a favor on your way out, if you're watching this and you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button for me, and then also hit that little bell notification so you don't miss anything, any of the content that I put up or any of the shows that I put out. Also, the biggest thing that you can do for me as you leave is hit that like button. The likes are the lifeblood of YouTube, and they're what helps to amplify the signal. And the more likes that a show gets, the more comments that a show gets, the more that YouTube suggests it out to other viewers. So if you can please help me out to do that, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Keep it locked in here to the channel. I'll be putting out content all the way through. I know we have Thanksgiving coming up. I won't be doing any shows on Thanksgiving, but there will be stuff that I'll be putting out. And I will be at 49ers practice tomorrow in Santa Clara. So thanks again for everybody that's tuned in. I'm about to head out. I'm going to go do something different. I'll put that up a little bit on the channel as well. Thank you all so much. Have a great rest of your day today. And if I don't talk to you, if you don't hear from me or you don't able to catch up with me before it, have a great Thanksgiving. Talk to you all soon, guys. Ladies and gentlemen. Can't forget the ladies.